Hi. Nice hair.
Thank you.
Do you do other tricks with that? Where is Carlotta?
I'm in here.
You what?
I'm in here.
Oh, yes. Well, ladies and gentlemen. Carlotta, come with me, Carlotta. Oh, dear. Carlotta, I'm so glad I wore sequins today.
We look like sisters.
Oh.
Or brother and sister.
Well, you tell me. Listen, Carlotta, that is very game.
Beautiful.
Coming out of a hippo suit.
It's hot.
Oh, great entrance. Everybody looks spectacular. This is the new show. Well, we'll talk about the new show because, gee, since you were with us last year, a lot's been happening. Folks, this is almost an exclusive here, a new movie on your life. Tell all.
Well, I've sold the film rights and it's in process of the scripts being written at the moment.
And we're talking Hollywood here.
Yes, sort of. It's very overwhelming at the moment. I sort of can't come to grips with it. Balmain Boy made good.
So what it literally is being, a screenplay is being written as we speak in Hollywood. How's all this come about?
Well, the book came out 2 years ago and obviously someone picked it up and who was in the movie business and they loved it and loved the concept of it. And they thought there was a story to tell, so they're going to make it into a movie, which I'm still shaking about it, actually.
And the casting, I was reading, is going to be very interesting. Who would you cast to play yourself in the movie?
Well, I suggested Elle Macpherson because she's the only one tall enough.
So the body?
And she's got the boobs, too. Only hers are real, I had to pay for mine.
But if you've got if you want Elle to do there's a before, because you were, how old were you when you changed in 1971?
20...
20-something.
20-something.
So, but Elle has to then be a young boy. How would she disguise ample assets?
Oh...
I mean, surgical tape only goes so far.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting, unless they get someone to play me as a boy. I don't know how much of the movie they're going to use as me as a boy. And I know that they're going to twist the story around a little bit, so it'll be interesting. But I've been asked to work on it as a consultant, so...
Oh, that's good.
We'll just have to wait and see what happens.
But that's very exciting news.
Yeah, it is. Especially as, you know, after the wonderful success of Priscilla, I just hope that, because I'm a great pusher for the Australian drag scene, because I think we have the greatest female impersonators in the world here. And I've tried to push that for years, so it's good that they're going to do something really typical, glamorous drag queens as we first started off as.
Of course. The costumes, I've got to say, this is just spectacular. These costumes are... Boys, girls, you just look wonderful. It is incredible.
They're good boys.
Now, tell me, in your book, He Did It Her Way, 1971, you were the very first to change sex. Very difficult decision. Do you still remember how your mother reacted when she found out?
I use it in the show. It's in my book. She was at the RSL because she loves the RSL. She loves the pokies. And she had Balmain Boy Becomes Beauty and she fell off the stool.
How did she...
She virtually fell off the stool. What have they done to my boy? But she's great. She's one of my biggest fans.
Sensational. So with being the first, I mean, how's life changed in the sense that making that decision first up, do you think you really paved the way? I mean, do other people come to you and sort of say, this is what I'm considering, and what's your advice to them?
I get a lot of letters. The thing is, it's a choice you have to make on your own. As I say in my book, you're born like it, but I would never suggest to anyone that they go and have the change. They must go and seek proper advice, because I'm not trained in that way, only trained in the practical sense of it.
You have no children. Is that a big regret, not having children?
Yes, that's a very big regret.
Would you have adopted?
They wouldn't have left me.
Legally, you couldn't?
Legally, I couldn't have, no.
Would you have had time in your working life to do that?
No, and I think it would have been unfair. I think children should be brought up in a family structure. It's, you've hit a sore point there with me, because it really annoys me what's happening with our kids today. I think it's sad, because I'm in show business and I see it all the time. I see them on the street, 13, 14, out at 11 o'clock at night, and it really annoys me.
So what do you think about the discipline in homes?
Well, my generation were brought up with, I'm not suggesting that they should get a caning at school or anything, but, you know, a smack on the bottom occasionally doesn't hurt anyone, because my generation was brought up and they all turned out all right. I may have turned out a bit different. But I certainly got a smack on the bum occasionally when I was a kid and pulled into line. And I grew up with respect for my elders. And I think that's, I think a lot of that's lacking today.
Do you think those sentiments you'd agree with, folks? Yes. Yeah. Morally, a lot of people would cast a judgment about gay couples having children. There's been a legal case in Queensland, 2 lesbians going to have on the IVF program. How do you feel about people making judgments? They say, well, should you be in a position to bring up a child?
Well, I think if you've got the right environment, that's the most important thing, and you've got love. You know, the most important thing with a child is love. If they know that they're loved, they're going to give you the respect. And sit down and talk to your kids. You know, sit down. A lot of people don't sit down at family dinners at night with their kids. They put them in, they feed them early, stick them in front of the TV, and they go off to the clubs. And I mean, it's our generation that's doing that.
Of course. Well, boy, you've got a fabulous show coming up.
Yes.
What a year it's been. The book is a huge success, 3rd print, the movie that you'll be working on, and the Beauty and the Beast role on Foxtel. What are you You're replacing Rose Hancock-Porteous. What's her name?
Yes, I know. Oh, God, no, I'm not even that rich yet.
So what sort of advice do you think you'll be dishing out?
Good advice, I hope. I'm lucky in a position where I know both sides.
So
send in your letters.
So you've got no problem with the blokes calling and asking you?
Well, yeah, I can really take my hat off to women, because they get it tough at home. And if any of those blokes want to write into me about their wives, I'll give it to them. I will, because, I mean, they should get down and kiss their ankles, because they work bloody hard.
Well said. Now, tell me about the show.
Well, this cast, actually, last year we previewed it on your show, and it was such a success for 11 months, and this year I've been booked out for 42 weeks. Wow. We start off in Queensland, up in Cairns, work our way all the way down, because we haven't done Queensland. It's the only state we haven't done. We've even done Tasmania.
Wonderful. I mean, I'm so pleased it was a success. So being on the road for 11 months must have been tough. And by the way, there's the Queensland dates up there. See Carlotta and her beautiful boys live. Boys.
Yes.
They're all boys.
Aren't they gorgeous?
I mean, were you wondering, come on, folks, who was going, are they boys? Were you? Go and put your hand up. Were you thinking, are they boys? But you believe it, don't you?
They are.
They are all boys. They, you know, confirm that.
Yes, they are.
Could all the boys in the front, in the band shell, put their hands up?
Say good day, boys. Say good day. Yeah, say good day.
Good day.
See, believe it or not. Carlotta, always a treat. To have you with us on the show.
Thank you.
Marvellous success with the movie. I really hope it does well. Ladies and gentlemen, Carlotta and her beautiful boys. Yep, there.